Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. I hope everyone's doing well. So sometimes in this YouTube world, it's really good to be first with a new story. And sometimes you kind of hope that that story is frankly wrong, or that you're way out in left field on something. Well, 10 days ago, I posted a video asking the question, was Daniel Dubois going to be fighting Dubois Chisora? Because I'd seen the IBF ratings that rated Dubois Chisora as next in line for a crack at the Daniel Dubois IBF belt. And it had quite a few views, well, by my channel standards, and quite a few comments. And I was thinking, well, you know, this is probably like very unlikely. At least I was hoping it would be very unlikely. No promoters had talked about it, and none of the other, YouTube channels that I watch. Now, this isn't to say that nobody out there in the whole YouTube world, but the channels that I watch didn't pick up on the story. Nobody was speaking about it. And so I thought, well, it's probably a nothing burger. And to be honest with you, I was quite happy about that. I don't mind to put out a speculative video, sharing my thinking, observations, get a few comments back. It doesn't go anywhere. It is what it is, right? Well, three things now I notice on the world of YouTube make me think that I was first, and it might happen. The was first bit is fine. The might happen bit is, frankly, not fine. The first was an interview that Frank Warren gave. And he spoke about Dubois Chisora being next in line for an IBF title shot at Daniel Dubois. Now, clearly, everybody had been aware of this, but because nobody had been speaking about it, I thought, well, it's just one of those things, right? So what? He's next in line. Nobody's talking about it. It's not going to happen. Dubois Chisora's going to find somebody to fight for his 50th fight, less dangerous and all that sort of stuff. Notwithstanding that Dubois Chisora, of course, he's a one-man marketing machine, and he's been agitating for a world title shot. In fact, after he beats Otto Wallin, he had a bunch of posters in the ring with him. Alexander Usyk, I think AJ, maybe it was Dubois, I can't remember, the third one. Well, like I say, the first thing was Frank Warren being interviewed. And then I see that G-Man, who has got a very large following and is probably a little bit clued in, because not only he's been doing this for a long time with a large following, but he's very well connected with Ade Odalipo, who of course is working for the Zone and probably even more clued in. And so he did a video about it. And then this morning I saw that my good friend Joe Stunner had done a video about this subject. And so I'm thinking, oh no, like really? Is this really likely to happen? Is it potentially going to happen? In a video I posted 10 days ago, I said, well, if Alexander Usyk should honor the obligation that the WBO have called for and fight Joseph Parker, well, then Dubois would be looking for a dance partner, sort of marking time, if you like, for the Usyk-Parker thing to work its way through the system. Because one would imagine that if Usyk fights Parker, then the winner of that fight, Daniel Dubois, would want to challenge to make the undisputed. But of course, Daniel Dubois wouldn't want to necessarily fight somebody who was really top shelf, because you might run the risk of losing that IBF title. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head who would be a major threat to Daniel Dubois if you took Parker and Usyk out of the equation, but it's possible, right? On the other hand, of course, there's good old warhorse Derek Chisora, who all the British fans would be behind. Battle of Britain, you know, final chance, final chance, all that sort of stuff. Well, Chisora, I suppose he could, it's heavyweight boxing, he could prevail, but it would be most unlikely. And it's a fight I don't think I want to see. I'm not a massive Chisora fan or anything like that, but I just think that at his age, with his skills being what they are today, it would be something of a mismatch to take on the very young, vigorous, energized Daniel Dubois, and it could lead to injuries which he might not fully recover from. You know, I think it's fair to say that Derek has had a fair few blows, and I've noticed some deterioration in his speech and stuff like that, and I can't imagine that those things would be helped getting into the ring with a hard-hitting, young, aggressive fighter like Dubois. So I hope that this isn't going to happen. But the fact that now larger YouTube channels are reporting on it, but more importantly, Frank Warren, who is, of course, the person who can pull a lot of these strings, is out speaking about it in public, makes me more than a little bit concerned. What do you think? Is anybody out there keen to see Chisora get a world title shot? Is anybody out there keen to see Chisora get a world title shot against Daniel Dubois? Let me know your thinking in the comments section. And most importantly, have a fabulous day wherever you are. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know how it works, right? I feel like I have to say it every video, but you know, if you've subscribed, wonderful. If you're just watching, please hit that button. It really will help me out. Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Cheers.